and her co-host, Oscar, aka Gymnastics Saves Lives, Miss Shayna, and Ezra. And together, we bring you the Loves Gymnastics podcast. Season 2 begins now. Thank you, everybody, for your patience. We love and appreciate you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, bring more people into the community. It's NCAA 2025 time. Let's go, girls! And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Welcome back to my channel, Michaela Loves Gymnastics. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to season 2 of the Loves Gymnastics podcast, hosted by Michaela Loves Gymnastics and her great co-host. First of all, I want to say hi, Oscar. I know you are busy celebrating the holidays with your family. Oscar will not be joining us for part A of the season 2 premiere, but he will be joining us for part B of the season 2 premiere. But he will also be paying attention. He might even be in the chat. So, um, hi, Oscar. But we have the returning co-host, somebody that y'all should be used to by now because she's been here for like the last 3 or 4 episodes. We have Miss Shayna, and we have returning. Y'all haven't seen this baby since last year. Ezra is back. And tonight, you guys, we are doing the Loves Gymnastics preview of the NCAA 2025. And you know, when we do the preview of the NCAA, you know who is going to lead this conversation. That's the baby. That's Ezra. And this time, he's not by himself because he's not alone. Because now him and Shayna are our NCAA experts, so they are going to lead this conversation. I'm just going to be here, but I do have opinions. So I'm going to hand the floor over to Mr. Ezra, and whenever he needs me to do, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be paying attention to the chat today, since y'all would love to say I don't pay attention to the chat. And I'm going to also moderate to do, because I know somebody DM me and said that they like the new format. It's just that we do a bad job of speaking over each other. So I'm going to try to give us a better of us not just talking over each other. Okay, so with that being said, I'm handing the floor over to Ezra, and whatever you need me to do, Ezra, just let me know and I'll do it. Let's go.
Yes. Okay, welcome everyone. NCAA is back finally after a long, complicated elite season. We're back, and it's going to be a great season this year. So yeah, let me just get this presentation rolling. Can y'all see the screen?
Give me 1 second. I'm fed up. Put it up now. Oh no, share it again. It went away.
Okay. Here, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Can y'all see?
It's coming up now, and Yes, everybody
And
should
while
be able
we're
to see it.
that, I just want to say nice to meet you officially, Ezra. We've been
Nice to meet you too,
communicating for a little
Sheena.
while, but I'm excited. My NCAA baby.
And I'm very excited to have someone to chat to with the NTA because
Yes,
Michaela,
yes. I love
is
NCAA.
in that tuned in.
I
So
have
yeah,
favorites, but I love
I
all the
know.
girls on all the teams. I just have favorites and not so much favorites, but
agreed.
NCAA
And we will
is
butt heads today about that, but it's fine. Okay, so let's get into it. Love's Gymnastics presents Network presents the 2025 NCAA Gymnastics preview. Okay.
Yay!
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. We're going to start off with just the top 10 teams in the NCAA ranked this year. Obviously,
Okay.
Oklahoma, they had a bad semifinals, but they're still ranked number one, even though they're not the champions. LSU, the reigning
I know
champions,
everybody have opinions on that. Just hold it to the end.
agree, and we will. I have a lot of opinions on that. LSU, the
I think
reigning
everybody
2024
does.
NCAA champions, are ranked second. Florida, always up there in third. Utah, fourth. California, who had an amazing season as the runner-ups, in fifth. Alabama, who went to the semifinals, are in sixth. UCLA, who were eliminated in the regional round one, in seventh. Missouri, who were eliminated in the regional finals, in eighth. Kentucky, eliminated in the regional finals, in nine. And Michigan State, eliminated in the regional finals. So we're just going to go in that order. And so if anyone has any questions on how the AP poll works, please ask. Or do you want me to explain?
Do give the people a brief explanation. You don't have to go into details.
Okay.
We can do that on
Okay.
Saturday, but just give the people a brief
Yes.
explanation of how they got to this ranking.
Okay. So the CGN is the college gymnastics website for anything college gymnastics, and they have every single coach in the NCAA vote on which teams they think are going to do well this season, and that's how it happens. And yeah, so as you can see, nine coaches voted for Oklahoma to be the best team this season, and so forth and so on. And so yeah, we'll get into that fully on Saturday. But here we
I
go.
don't think is that College Gym News is their
Yes,
pick for the top 10. That's not the official top 10 though.
it's not. This is just it's actually the
That's
coaches, not their one. So the coaches
no,
vote.
the coaches poll has Cal at 4, Utah at 5.
Oh
I think that's just CGN's picks, like their
yes,
editors.
yes,
Yeah, because UCLA is actually 10 on the coaches poll.
which makes sense.
Yeah,
Which
it
makes a lot
does.
of sense.
I actually like theirs a little bit better, but the coaches
Oh
poll is a lot worse because they have Oklahoma with um 42 first place votes.
yes. Okay, I'm
Wow.
I'm
What do you
checking
think
now.
about that? What do you think about that, Ezra?
Well, the coaches kind of have a easier way of seeing like who have a better season, unlike the editors who are just learning as much as we're learning. And
Mm-hmm.
so they have an in-depth on what kind of going to happen this season for upgrades that we haven't seen yet, and for upgrades that are going to happen. So it definitely varies,
As
in
it
my
relates
opinion.
to their own team though. So say like KJ
Yeah,
Kindler, she's not gonna know what Jordan and Arkansas have up the plate? Is the polls based off of the previous year, or is it based off of the current year with the new incoming and the
it's
transfers
based
and the
on
freshmen, or is
the
it a
current
combination
year.
of both?
Yes, it's based on the current year of who they see on their roster, what like they kind of see in the videos and all that, and based on what they know of the teams coming into the season, and so that's how they got to the top 10 this year.
Because I never understood like how do they base the poll? Like, is it
Hmm.
more in depth than we think, or is just based off really of opinion, based off of track record from
from
previous years? Like how do they
from my from my understanding, it is based off of basically the first week is based off of feels and
Yes.
emotions. Just how people feel
Yes.
from what they see, from
Yes.
just feels and emotion.
Yeah.
It's really not based on anything tangible
Mm-hmm.
yet.
Yes.
Second week after scores are given, that's when the polls are more tangible.
Yeah.
And then, like the 6 weeks when the NQS start rolling in, then we'll actually
Yeah.
see who is the top teams this season.
I just never understood like
Correct.
how they base the coaches poll because
Yeah.
if you look at it and you okay, I could see Oklahoma being number one, regardless of
Exactly.
what happened in one meet last season. They have the highest score in NCAA history.
Yes.
They were on a record-setting season as it related
Yes.
to scoring,
Mhm.
regardless of how we feel about them,
Their
aesthetically.
gymnastics is more technical than other teams.
Correct. And they have a great coaching staff. So I
Very.
can see them being number one. And then of course the defending champs LSU.
Yes.
They have a lot coming back as well. So I can see those two
And
being the top two.
I
That
have a
I'm
lot to
not
say about LSU based on their preview meet, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Cause
Correct. Let's not get stuck on the coaches polls because it's Saturday.
yeah.
yes.
Saturday, because man, I got woo. Because I don't. Because this is the thing with the coaches polls that I don't like. Let me just t- tip my toe into it a little bit. I don't like how it's so biased
Mhm.
to last season when especially a lot of the teams don't have the same depth as they had last season, or in the case of Cal, has better depth than they even had last season.
Correct.
So it's not right to base the current polls because if I'm just being honest, I don't think Florida's in the top 5 schools anymore.
Really?
Really, Michaela?
I think so. And that
I think
this is coming from
Mm,
an LSU fan. Florida is definitely a
I
top four team to me.
absolutely, especially last year,
mm,
they
They
really
have
weren't, in my
Selena
opinion. But
Harris
this
with
year,
them.
yes,
They
yes,
have a Selena Harris with them. I
they
don't.
have Salome Blakely.
I think I think they have the issue that now UCLA used to have, which is they have too much talent. They have too much
Oh,
elite talent, and they have also too much elite talent who is still trying to do elite gymnastics and not. And their number one
Leanne.
priority is not the NCAA. They don't. And on paper, that sounds like a very good strategy, but in reality, for the NCAA, that's a losing strategy because all
Mhm.
your top players are they're not focused on their NCAA routines. They're using their NCAA routines as practice for the bigger skills they're doing later on in the year, right? So they're not trying to stick as hard as possible because they don't want to get hurt, because they want to do worlds
Yeah.
and they want to go to the Olympics.
Yeah.
And on
Florida
paper,
always had.
on paper,
They always had like national
they,
members, elite members, and they haven't won a championship since 2015. So it's really been a dominance of Oklahoma with the exception of Michigan, UCLA, and LSU.
and
Yes.
like the years that they were dominant, that's when Bridget was almost done with elite
She
gymnastics.
Mhm.
was completely
That's
finished.
when she
Yeah, but
correct.
I think I don't necessarily always agree with that because you got to look at the Florida team last season. They lost a lot the season before with Trinity, and then they garnered all these freshmen. Leanne was their top gymnast, and she was doing elite as well. So it's not
Was
always
she?
about that. They
I
have
don't think
they,
Leanne was their
they
top
have
I
gymnast.
don't
Selena.
think so either.
I based on scores, she was. I mean, and they scores don't lie. She was their top gymnast on mostly all the events, except maybe vault.
And that's kind of also why Oklahoma is doing so well year consistently, because they recruit level 10 talent. They don't recruit elite talent. And that's what
I'm saying.
yes.
Like that's exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And even with LSU, like they have a lot of girls who say they're going to continue with elite gymnastics. I just don't believe them. So, they're really going to be focused on LSU and trying to win another championship for them.
Yeah.
Maybe Connor is the only one that I really see trying for worlds.
Because that's been such a dream of hers, and
maybe Kalia Lincoln, but I think once Kalia Lincoln start going to the NCAA and start getting tens, she ain't gonna be worried about no damn elite gymnastics.
We also
no
have to worry
more.
about Aaliyah, because it's individual worlds, and it's easier to medal at individual. Yeah, Aaliyah should be trying out for these worlds.
Aaliyah went to the Olympics, child. She good.
She went to She went to a world. She went to Olympics. She's won a national championship. What else does she have to do?
She's good.
Nisha, they are LSU are one-hit wonders. They are.
And it's just to me, the top 5 teams in the country right now. If it was my poll, Florida would be like number 5 or number 6. It would be like, I'm sorry, LSU would be number 1, Oklahoma would be number 2, Cal probably would be number 3.
Yeah. And don't just think because I'm from Baton Rouge and LSU is my school and I go to LSU now, that I take offense to anybody's opinion, because at the end of the day, that's everyone's opinion. But I will negate the fact that LSU cannot just be a one-hit wonder, because you can say that about everyone. Michigan was a one-hit wonder. UCLA won
Well,
one.
Michigan
damn
never
sure
was
was
supposed to win.
So who's not a one-hit wonder? Other than
everybody got
you got to think about it. Georgia hasn't won since 2005, almost 20 years. Alabama hasn't won since 2013. Florida 2015. So that's what I'm saying. And basically since 2005, no one has won but Oklahoma. UCLA won once. Michigan won once. LSU has won once. So to me, they are all one-hit wonders.
But prior, those teams have a bunch of championships leading up to those championships recently.
Correct, but
so that's why I'm saying LSU might just be a one-hit
They
wonder.
might, and they may be just like the rest of them, the Michigans of the world. But you got to look at it too. It's only 8 teams that have ever won a national championship. That's not really a lot of teams. That's not a lot of teams in the history of NCAA gymnastics.
It's not. But you guys, we are being stuck on semantics. Let's
we're not.
Presentation because
I think we're having a good conversation.
Okay, I'm sorry. My bad, everybody. My bad. I'm so sorry.
I like parity. I want to see a Cal win, regardless of who my favorite team is. I want to see.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I forgot what I was saying. The teams I would put ahead of Florida right now, just based off what I'm seeing, is LSU, Oklahoma, Cal. I would put UCLA over Florida. I'm sorry.
Really?
I would not.
And I'm saying this as UCLA's number 1 fan. You would do that.
If you put UCLA over Florida, that means you have to put Auburn over UCLA.
Don't do
based
that.
off what
Don't do
we
that.
saw.
Don't do
based
that.
Off
don't do
what
that.
I
No.
saw.
Don't do that.
No.
No.
All looks better.
Okay. I'm so sorry. I stand by what I say. I damn sure will put Utah over Florida. I damn sure will put Utah over Florida by a lot. And Michigan, nah, they not had their time in the sun.
They were never supposed to win. I'm sorry.
I just never liked their gymnastics.
Mich-
Yeah, so I would put Florida at 5. I would put Florida at 5. Like no bullshit. They're behind those four
that
teams. They're
year, the year
behind.
Michigan won, I really thought that was Florida's year.
It was
It
until
was
That's the
supposed
year I thought Florida was supposed to win because Oklahoma was Oklahoma, but they weren't as strong on vault and floor that season,
and they weren't
and
as
that's
ahead
how
as of other
and
teams.
that's how Michigan was the far superior vault and floor team, and they lucked up at the
okay. I don't want
end.
to answer Nisha's question. I don't want to rank on Florida because Florida is my team. I love you, Owen Fields. I love you, Morgan Hurd. I love you, Leanne Wan. You know I love you, Selena Harris. Please, all y'all, don't unfollow me. This is just how I feel at this moment in time.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong. It just feels like Florida right now is more. Okay, you know how my biggest gripe, Ezra, with with UCLA was, I felt like they were trying to go viral
Viral
more
more
so
than
than they
And
were
do
trying to
gymnastics, yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
They definitely pushed past that this
correct.
season, more as of recent
They
years.
have
But yes,
a little bit,
a little bit.
a little bit. But with Florida, it seems like they want to be the broken gymnast brigade where they feel like they feel to take all these super hurt elite gymnasts and give them some great NCAA career, and it's just not. They
Not
need to stop
in.
doing that.
And then this is just opinion based and speculation because
It is just
I
opinion
haven't
based. It
seen.
is just opinion
I
based.
just don't see it for UCLA until UCLA can get 4 or 5 consistent 10 vaults and
Yeah,
can stay on a
we do.
beam in a
We
champion
do.
and stay on a beam in a championship setting. I cannot put them but where they at. I really feel like Michigan State
I would say the
should be
same about
higher than
LSU.
UCLA.
I would say the same
Michigan,
about LSU.
Michigan State.
I love Michigan State.
Do you think Michigan State is a stronger team than Michigan this year?
Of course.
Period.
Of
Do you think
course.
Minnesota is a stronger team than, because these are all the teams y'all have to look for now with LSU. It's like Michigan State and Michigan and Minnesota, not all those teams that y'all used to were seeing. I wish they would have put Utah in this division, but
Hmm.
they didn't.
They put Utah in the conference where they know Utah is going to dominate, and that's my problem. But
It's they made Utah the new OU because they absolutely
yes,
have no competition.
they absolutely. Denver is not going to touch Utah this season whatsoever.
They never have. They never could touch OU. They're just gonna always be in. Okay, anyways, let's move on because
Okay, let's move
that's
on.
another thing that pisses me off. The way that I was so hyped that they were going to change the divisions to make it more,
Like, oh my goodness, who's going
even,
to it?
yeah. But now it's just
Yeah.
like everybody. Now it's like everybody's in the SEC, and like all the West Coast teams are so scattered. Like it's going to be so hard to even care about it. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into my definitions and kind of phrases for the teams this season. I really enjoyed.
okay, dope.
Okay. So for Oklahoma, I have white holes that can vault because that's really all they are. That's
Oh
really
my god. They
consistently.
can swing. They can swing. They can swing some bars though.
They could
I
swing
give
some
them
bars. They
that.
could throw
They can
some
swing
side
some
arrows on
bars.
beam. They can't give. They don't give me nothing on floor, but that's fine.
I love Ezra. I love him.
LSU.
You say the stuff that I want to say, but I'm trying not to.
LSU, one hit wonders. We already talked about this, but yeah. Florida, never the bride, always the bridesmaid. We already talked about that. They're never going to be the bride. They're never the bride for the reasons Michaela just stated. Always going to be the bridesmaid. Utah, I just don't like them. I
Wow.
just don't like them. I'm sorry. I'm a UCLA fan. Cal, the dark horses. Obviously, Alabama, they're destined to crumble.
So how can you like Cal, but not? How can you like Cal, but not Utah when they both was rivals to
Because Cal
UCLA
gives
when
me
they were in the
something.
same conference?
And I love Cal's coaches, and
Yes.
I love
Yes.
their pretty gymnastics.
Yes.
You know,
You
they can get a
never
couple
heard about Cal
metaphors.
coaches abusing their athletes.
No,
Never.
never,
Never.
never.
Alabama
And
destined
Not
to
yet.
crumble
Alabama is designed to crumble.
Wow.
I think
based
they're
on
too
racism.
high. I think they're too high on the coaches poll. I would not even
Very.
put them in the top 10. How the hell did they get to 6? I have no idea.
UCLA floor party always their floor teams aren't as seasoned this season, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Missouri, okay.
I just hope LSU, not LSU, UCLA work on the other three events.
Mhm.
They have
Realize gymnastics is not floor.
They have a
UCLA
good
have
freshman. They have 2 good freshmen, but one of them I
amazing
really
freshmen.
like. One of them is
Nika
a little,
Webster Longen, who
yes,
represented Belgium.
love her. She's
Yeah,
great. She's going to
her
be wonderful.
gymnastics reminds me so much of Hesley, which I like.
She's going to be great.
She's gonna be amazing.
Yes.
Missouri, they're okay. They're a
They
little
have
high.
that's the team. That's the team of the transfers.
Yes. Kentucky, Wildcat Power.
They're gonna be the same. They have a replacement from Raina into Skylar, so they're
Yes.
basically the same team.
And lastly, Michigan State. What do we have?
These are my girls. I love them. I
Big
love
Ten winning
them.
champion.
I want them to make nationals this year.
I am so sorry for that interruption.
Okay.
Okay.
Nisha, I thought Florida looked good. And I've seen more of Florida than I saw of Oklahoma. Florida looks good to me for about this time of the season.
I know Ezra. Okay, so we're waiting on Ezra to come back. It sounds like
Oh my
it sounds like his
God.
little brother was giving him the business real quick.
So yeah. So Michaela, since we stopped here, who would you put ahead of Florida? I am intrigued.
Oh, I thought I said
I knew
it would be
Oklahoma, I saw LSU, Cal.
Oklahoma, LSU, Cal, and Utah.
That's 4. So Florida would be your number 5. Okay. I feel like Florida, and I I only base my opinions off of the people that showed their previews that was
Yes.
online. When you look
Oklahoma.
at Oklahoma, I haven't seen much. I haven't seen a lot. I've seen training clips, but I haven't
Yes.
seen a lot of their floor. They
And
have
that
a lot of freshmen that are great, but I haven't seen much of them. And then you look at a
and that's a part
Cal.
of KJ Kindler's strategies for y'all to not see
Yeah.
what Oklahoma's
Like
got going on
you
this
don't
year.
see all our
Yes.
shithole, and then you could see
Yes.
what LSU, Florida, Utah they have on the floor. Cal,
Yes.
I would actually put Florida, Utah ahead of Cal because we don't
You
know
what?
how Cal's vaulting. We don't know how Cal's vaulting looks.
Cal vaulting is
Over
going
the
to
floor.
remain the same this season, really.
What was Cal's like? They had like 2 9.95s and 4 10 vaults, or
Yeah,
am I
they're
just
clean.
Yes.
Yes, they're clean gymnasts. I really feel like Maya is the best vaulter on the team.
well? They have
But then
Undine.
after that, it's a step down, really. So that's
They
why I
have
never saw
Undine
them
now,
being.
and
But
Undine
she had
might.
an AC. Has she been shown training anything on the leg events? She had a torn
No, and
ACL.
she has not shown
Mm.
a single dismount on
Right.
the previews of any event. So
So
that's
Mm.
it's like
concerning.
I can't just, I can't base off what I hope they look like or what I hope they can do or their actual.
Mm.
You got to base it off where they are now. I really would put Florida 3. I think they got it right. I think Florida is the third best team. I
Yes.
would and I
It,
would take it further and put Florida number 1 had Sky and Kayla been normal and not hurt.
well, is Kayla
Well, Kayla just
DeSello
had
out for
another
the
foot
season?
surgery. Yes. I
Yeah.
don't. Yes.
I just think
She
it's
has to
just
recover from
it's
her
just
Achilles.
not going to
Yes.
be a LSU Oklahoma thing. I just felt
Yes.
with those freshmen for Florida last year, they got all that experience, and to still make it
Yes.
to Final Four, and then you
They did
add
great last year.
A Selena Harris, the other little black girl Taylor Clark, look like she's gonna be strong. If you just
Oh, I
give
enjoy her
Sky on one
gymnastics.
event, yeah,
Yes.
she's strong. She has a
Yes.
Plus,
double A on
I will
floor.
say this. I will say this. Salone looks great this year. Like Salone,
She
you better
looks
Salone
not
looks
fuck up.
ready.
wonderful. Riley McCuster looks great.
You know
Oh my
she don't.
God.
Regardless
I
of
said that out loud. I'm
personality,
so sorry. Woo, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so
she has
No,
sorry.
she's
great
not going to make the bar
gymnastics.
lineup. She's not going to make the bar
Yes, she
lineup.
Or
is.
Bean.
She
Or
is.
Bean.
They
She's gonna be
have
the
She's
best
Victoria.
Riley's.
They have
junior.
Ellie,
Victoria looks
Selena.
terrible on bars at that preview.
But that's how Victoria
Riley
always
showed a
looks
double
at the
layout,
end of the season.
and now she should be in the bar lineup.
That double
Riley
layout
don't.
was not a double layout. That was a pike open tuck.
That was a
And
Alona Shinakova. It was a Alona Shinakova part 2.
it was absolutely in the Lotus Shakova part
And
two.
Alona and I hate
But
I Alona should be nowhere near a bar lineup. I understand she's coming back
I'm
for a
sorry.
6 year, but she shouldn't.
she
She
is
should have
coming back.
never been.
Oh yeah,
She
she was
Yeah,
muted.
hurt last
Yes,
year.
she's
I
back.
used to
LSU
love
should
Alana.
just pit her in
I'm not gonna.
two beam
But
No,
lineup.
she
we're not
she
gonna
Call
do
it a
had a
Alana
little
season.
Shea.
she had a little ankle thing, and
Yes,
it's crazy to say her best event was floor coming, and you wouldn't think that coming from elite. You
yes,
know,
and they need to just put her in a lineup or two, then call it her career, because she should not make lineups if they want to
and
win a chance.
that used to be my biggest gripe. But like I say,
Yes,
we only see things from the outside. I used to always just be so mad, and LSU
hmm
had like LSU has a Tiger droppings. I can't think of it right now, but you can talk to other fans, and they used to hate me in there because I was so honest with them about
yeah,
why he keep putting her in this lineup. I don't give a damn. They should have gave Aaliyah Finnegan a double tuck and let her goddamn be in that position like 2, 3 years ago when Alona was in it all the time. I hate the double A. She never hits handstand. She has flex feet out the door, and it's not like I don't have nothing personal against her, but she should have never been on a bar team. I don't care.
I would never had her going to LSU, but that's
She should have went
just
to. She
me.
should have followed her sister and went to
Yeah.
Michigan.
Yes.
She should have went to Michigan. She could have helped them a lot on vault. You know.
Oh, Nisha agreed with you in the chats about LSU and Alona.
Uh, so see, I'm not the only one. Nisha, if she knows about the LSU Tiger dropping, it's like a message board for like all LSU sports. And I used to be so critical of lineup choices and like why is Alona in this lineup? She shouldn't be in it.
Yes.
The same way I feel about Olivia Dunn on bars. She should not be in a lineup.
Oh, she was
Not on
committed to
bars.
Michigan.
Oh, oh, that's okay. Oh, can we say that part for? Oh, Shayna, can you write that down so we can talk about this on Saturday?
Okay.
Oh,
Because that was some
I
tea.
just look at you got to think about it. We're fans, but you got to look at it as NCAA is all about form and scores, and
yes.
Olivia is just not 9-9 material with that with those giant swings, those knees, and that dismount. I'm sorry.
And
I
all
would
the tape
I
all
would
over
put
her ankles. It's not
I
cute.
would put
It's not cute.
Amari in that position before her. I'm sorry.
Amari gives you like
Oh,
powerful ball worker. And
Powerful form.
yes,
She might have
yes.
a wonky double lay that she just learned, but Amari
Her
is my
pack
dark
salto
horse.
is very good. So yeah,
She has good
she
handstands.
look like Simone.
Yeah,
She look like Simone.
yeah.
she
Her
very
being,
so does.
I was most shocked. I was most impressed with LSU. Amari Drayton and Kaylin Chio. Those two were the people that I was
Uh,
not expecting to be as good as they were.
I cannot stand that. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
make this. I'm not gonna make this into a political thing. So it's
Okay.
okay. Because
So let's move on to. I see you put up a picture, baby.
yes, that is
Nisha,
Oklahoma.
I'm so fly 225 in it. So if you've ever seen that person, that's me.
Okay, so Oklahoma, they have a great crop of freshmen, including El Mueller, who was on the U.S. national team, who competed at the
Yes.
2022 Pan American Championships, where the U.S. were the runner-ups. She has Uchenko 1.5. She looks very good on ball. She's just a great all-around gymnast, especially for OU, and she's going to dominate in the NCAA this season. They have Liddy Pedersen, who was the number two recruit coming out of coming out of high school, and they also have. Let me make sure.
Allison Fader Cheese.
Yes, they have Addison Fader, who deferred the season, but she looks good. I saw a video of her beam routine. Yes. So yeah, Oklahoma has a lot of good freshmen this season. Returning for them is Audrey Davis, who did a great job in the All in last season. Amazing ball worker. You have Jordan Bowers, who is supposed to be the top all arounder, but she hasn't really stood out to me most of last season.
I wonder if she
Um,
still hates trans women.
so Faye Torres, she did good all around. She was one of the athletes who sat down on her vault, which caused Oklahoma to make it into the finals. You have Kat Lavasser, and so OU is stacked this season, and they, in my opinion, are going to win the national title, and that's coming from a fact and standpoint of what I know from them and what I know from the past season of them, that they're going to win the national title, and
Do you
that's
think it's possible though? Let's just keep it spicy. That because they're in the SECs, that they might get stopped out of even making it to like nationals through the
yes.
regional process.
They will be getting scored very evenly with the other SEC teams, so they're gonna have to get used to that. Because we won't be seeing 9.95s, 9.9s, all that from them. We're gonna see a couple 9.8s, and that's gonna be okay for them. They aren't gonna be used to it, but they won't be 3/10 ahead of a team going into the second rotation, so they're not going to be as dominant as prior years.
I think with Oklahoma moving to the SEC, I think it's going to elevate all of the other teams. I don't think
Yes,
Oklahoma is going to
and
stop with them being them and their coaching staff and their
yes,
skills. But I think it's going to get.
and also a new rule in the SEC this season is only 8 teams will compete for the championship. So the lowest SEC team, which is the 9th team, will get eliminated and will be unable to compete at the SEC championships, which is brutal, but I love
I
it.
do too.
So it gives everyone something to fight for.
I do too. It sucks for the ninth team, but I did
Yes,
not
but
like the two
gotta
day
work.
SEC format that they were originally going to do. I did not like that one.
Yes.
Okay, messiness. Let's be here. Preview. Who's going to be that ninth team?
Okay.
Everyone's saying Georgia from what I've
It's
Oh,
it's
oh,
it's going to be Georgia.
Yeah.
I love Cecile,
oh,
but it's going to be Georgia.
oh,
Politely, respectfully.
oh,
It's
oh.
just I don't. Auburn looks too good from their preview
Yeah.
video from what I
Yeah.
was expecting for them to be at. So it's going to be
Yeah.
Georgia right now.
And I think Arkansas is very hungry. What they did last
Arkansas,
season.
yes, yes.
I don't see
They're
it,
going to be
Nisha. Arkansas.
Okay,
I would see Missouri over Arkansas.
okay. So let's name the top 8 SEC teams. Let's do a Love's Gymnastics SEC ranking.
yes.
Oh, and let's publish this because nobody else is doing this. Let's just fuck it. We're I Love's Gymnastics SEC
See,
ranking. Let's do it. The number
Number
y'all
one.
want to go from?
Number one.
Michaela, you go.
I have to give it to LSU. I have to give
Absolutely,
it to
yes,
LSU.
yes.
They're the national champions.
They're the reigning SEC
They
champions.
have to be the number one contender.
Yes.
They have to be. I understand that Oklahoma is moving over to this conference, but they have to be, in my opinion, the number one.
Yeah. But this is and then I have to play devil's advocate because I love my LSU, but I also have to be a realist and understand that we would not have. I'm just saying, shoulda, coulda, woulda. We would not have this conversation had Oklahoma been normal Oklahoma that day. What happened
No,
was a
we would not
shocker
have.
because that never happens. So we got to be realistic that Oklahoma has been a number one team for basically pretty much the last 5 or 6 years, other than the 2020 year when Florida was number one for a couple weeks. LSU has inconsistencies at the beginning of the season. It's no
Yes.
secret. And even like last year, they started to 2023 was a trying year for them, but they was only ranked like 7th or 8th and made it to the final
And they're
four.
going on their revenge tour this year. Revenge tour for them
So
this season.
I feel like
Yes.
it's Oklahoma number one. That's
Yeah.
just my thing. I think it's Oklahoma.
Okay. I can see the chair. It says Oklahoma. What about you, Ezra?
I have to give it to LSU personally because they're the national champions as well as the conference champions, and so you got to give
Yeah.
it to them out of respect and pure knowledge. So LSU number one for me.
And then you got to think about it, Nisha. Like later on in the season, once Oklahoma has never been known to have like that hard of a schedule. Like I said, their conference was real weak. The Big 12 has always been weak to me, and that Denver
Yeah.
was really the only team that could kind of compete with them. So now they have to go to LSU. They have to go to Florida. Any given day, you can lose to Alabama or Missouri if they're
Yes,
on. So
Georgia
Oklahoma
on a good
won't.
day.
They can't coast anymore. They get to
No.
that
And they can't rely
championship meet.
on.
They're going against some good
And they,
teams.
and they can't rely on being the Americans versus everybody else on. They used to
Yes.
compete against where, of course, they was going to get Tims when they were doing your Chinko 1.5,
And everyone
and their
was doing
competitors
Chico
was doing your
Foes.
Chinko.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you're going to get Tims. Like,
Yeah.
so, you know what? I stand corrected. Ezra, I stand with you. LSU is number one in my opinion.
Yes.
LSU
Okay,
is
so
because Oklahoma really never
we
had.
got LSU in Oklahoma. The consensus is LSU 1, Oklahoma 2, right?
Yes.
Oklahoma's 2. Yes, absolutely.
3
Absolutely, no question.
is who?
Florida.
Florida. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
They
when you
just, they
look at
just
the
have too,
ranking,
Only
they just have
SEC.
too many pieces that the other teams don't have.
yes.
And that's why I will continually
Correct.
keep Florida in my top 4. Unless they start
Yes.
getting hurt or becoming. Jenny Rowland has never really had inconsistent teams. She may have not had a bride, but she's never had the track record of teams that cannot perform or make it to the final night of something.
Because her teams are
So
always there. They're never like,
yeah, they're always
they're always
there, with the
there.
exception
They're
of
always
that
there.
one year, the year that they fell on beam, the first 21.
2019.
That
Yes.
too. Other than that, their track record is pretty consistent. So I would give them 3. Now this is where y'all finna be gagged because 4, I would give that to Auburn.
I would give it to
over
Arkansas.
Alabama.
I'm oh yes,
Alabama,
Alabama
I
did
would give
not look good at their Ghosts and Goblins, and then one of their good freshmen is hurt. What's her name? Love something.
Lovebird.
Yeah, she's hurt, and she looked good at their preview. I just don't see
I'm
it for Alabama.
giving it to Arkansas, personally.
Over. And I would give it to Kentucky.
Oh yeah, Kentucky. Kentucky.
Mm,
Yes, Kentucky. So LSU,
who
Oklahoma.
does Kentucky have though that can rival? Who does Kentucky have? They lost Raina and they gained Skylar.
They have consistency and they have
Are they all still doing the pipe front half faults again?
yes, the athletes who are still doing the vault will
They
be back.
lost. They lost. What's her name? That had been there.
Ariana
Seemed
Patterson.
like 6 years. Seemed like she was there for damn near 6, 7 years. Her.
Yes, Isabella
Um,
Minelli is still there in her final year.
Isabella. But Isabella is really just a beamer to me. Her front pike half is kind of flat. Um, I think Arkansas is stronger than Kentucky. I do believe that.
Yes,
Rose Cressland is good on floor, but
I'm excited for her floor routine this season.
is she an anchor floor? To me, no. She doesn't
No,
have tumbling to really compete.
so
McNally is
Michaela,
okay.
it's up to you for number 4.
Uh, uh, oh, I can see it for all 3 of those teams. I don't know if they
I
all
mean,
went
if I
head
want
to
to go
head.
favorite, Arkansas because I love Jordan
And they went to nationals last
and
season,
they went
unlike
to
Kentucky and
nationals.
Auburn.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, you know what? I got to take that into. Okay, I agree. So the list is coming together. So number 1 is LSU. Number 2 is Oklahoma. Number 3 is Florida. Number 4 is
Arkansas.
Arkansas. Ooh, I give it to y'all. I give it to y'all with Arkansas.
Okay.
I believe in it. And then I'm gonna go with number 5 being Arbor.
Mm-hmm.
Auburn, yes.
Number
Caitlin
6
Young
being Kentucky.
looks great.
Yes.
Yes.
And Olivia Greaves finally looks
Yeah.
good.
Doing
And
Finally.
gymnastics. She's doing all
who's the
around.
other girl, the other freshman, Sophia Bell? Like
Sophia Bell,
Auburn
yeah,
is
she
going to
looks
be
great
my
on vault.
sleeper team.
I
They're
mean,
going to be my sleeper
if I was
to
Jeff,
make
I would
match.
be like, look, Tony, I know your kidneys, but you still have 2 years of college eligibility that you can do. Come
Yeah,
back home, girl. Come win us
and
a
then
national championship.
you
Let's
have to
do
look
Well,
it.
the
at
people who she had a problem with, I think, are gone because she had a problem with teammates there and her coaching.
Yeah.
But
mm-hmm.
yeah,
So then
Well,
we're at
hell,
number
use your
6.
last. Well, no, she moved to New York. New York don't
Yeah,
have a college gymnastics team. No.
they
Oh
have
well.
what's
they
the
have
team that
no,
just
they do
made
not.
it?
Which is sad.
LIU.
Oh, that's just
They just got
injury
rid of
after
that whole.
transfer
They
after
just got
transfer.
yeah. And where's
Get rid of
Rutgers?
the
Isn't
program.
Rutgers in New York,
It's in New Jersey. New Jersey.
New Jersey?
Yes.
Oh, she called a Rucker. Okay. So number 6 would be Kentucky.
Kentucky. Mm-hmm.
Number 7 would be Missouri.
I would say Alabama. No, Missouri. Yeah, Missouri.
Number 8 would be Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Number 9
left out would be Georgia.
And
Would be
realistically, it's
yeah.
the most obvious because other than Cecile and other than some strong athletes, they really don't have routines to consistently pit up.
Hmm.
That if someone gets
It's
injured,
just
we could
small
start.
for
So
Georgia.
yeah,
Like Georgia is going to have a
yes,
real strong beam lineup. Their beam is going to be spectacular. It's just
Yeah.
yes,
what the hell
yes.
they're going to do on ball.
What they're gonna do on
What
ball, their bars have
They
been kind of
lost.
womp womp, for the
maybe
last couple
Kyra would
years.
do her tuck 1.5 again. Did she do
Kara
that
is.
at
Kara is only going to compete beam, and I think that's going to be it for her.
We'll be lucky if we even see her in the lineup consistently. I'm hoping we'll see her in the lineup every meet, but we haven't. Yes, so
Can I ask a question? And this is very sidetracked. Why in college do the girls attempt the side aerial layout step out when they could easily do the side aerial back handspring for the exact same credit?
or a real walkover Corbett for the exact same credit. It's they
Three cartwheel
they
Corbett,
I
same.
I
yeah.
remember hearing something, and because we were in when Nisha was talking about, we were in the message boards for LSU. It's like if the gymnasts are used to doing a certain skill or training a certain thing, it might not be safe for them to do something different, even though it might be easier.
Hmm.
So that was like the thing with Alona, with the whatever that is of a dismount for her. It's a different tap as it relates to releasing a double lay than releasing a double tuck. So if they're not
Or
used
double
to,
pipe.
doing a certain way, it could be harmful for them.
Mhm.
That's the only thing I could see, because I would
But
want to do the
see,
easier skill, you
But
but
that's
know.
the
with
coach's
Alana, that's
job.
not. See, but Alana, that's not no damn excuse because her very first somersault is completely in the pipe position. So y'all telling me she just can't stay in the pipe position? Come on, come on.
And also, that's the coach's job to like
Yeah,
teach
that's
the
that was
athlete's
my big.
skill and
That was always
It
my
would be
biggest
one
gripe
thing.
with
It would be one
them.
thing if she had a beautiful double layout. Then I could buy that excuse. Like, okay, if she
yeah.
was Simone Biles, yes. But I mean, the whole very first somersault of her skill is in pike. So you telling me she just
It's
can't hold the pike position around? Like, come on.
she's
I
not gonna
don't
make
I
lineup.
don't know,
Plus,
but
in elite, she used to do a
the thought process of
in elite. Did she
that.
used to do a double front or something like that? I remember
Yes,
her doing
she
a
used to do a
front.
double front half.
Yeah.
Why don't she
She's
do a Rudy dismount? Isn't
or
a Rudy
twist
the
like a
same as a
twisting
double layout?
dismount off the
I don't understand why she just gonna do like a stalder into a double tuck. You know?
or like a toe under the bar, like a full twist off, or like a
Yeah,
give us
do the
something.
something. Especially with her repertoire and coming from elite, you would think she would have. If I'm gonna train a double A, then I'm gonna train something else.
A
If
backup.
a backup.
Yes.
And that was always my gripe with Jay Clark, the coaching staff, especially in the days you remember with the LSU girls on beam with those leap combos. A lot of those
Oh
switch
my god.
calves that would never get, I'm a realist. That's what a lot of the reason why they never could beat Oklahoma all those years that they came in second is because the beam composition.
Who was the LSU's beam coach during Didi when Didi was head coach?
It was Didi. And then
Oh
it
god.
became and then it became
Ashley Nat.
Didi. Yeah, because actually that came in 2020 when Didi retired. So before then, it was just Didi.
I don't see Didi as a coach personally. I see her as like a motivational kind of coach, someone that give you like a good pep talk or like a strong
Yeah,
leader
no,
voice. But
she's definitely a coach. Didi Bro was a gymnast. I know
oh, okay.
where she's from. She's from Donaldsonville, Louisiana, and she was a gymnast herself, but back in the day, she old as dirt. Um, she tore something, and back then they didn't have surgeries for that. You just had to just heal up. And like I said, LSU didn't have a coach. She started really from the ground up. And a lot of
Yeah.
the men and the people that were over the university, they want to cut the gymnastics for so long. And people, through Skip Bertman really helped her try to elevate the program a lot more than what it was. So when the Sarahs and the Suzannes were doing so well at Georgia, it's because they had the support of the athletic director. They had the money. Like their old LSU's old gym was so small, it looks smaller than like a regular gym at a high school. So she definitely has a background in coaching and gymnastics. I've seen it for myself. I graduated with her youngest daughter. So, Jay Clark just came in 2020. I mean, 2012. Dee Dee Rowe was there before all of that, and she had Bob Moore, and all he did was really coach vault and help spot on floor. So a lot of and then she had Philip Overtree, and then when he left, Jay came in. So my biggest gripe with them was the composition of why are we doing switch halves and y'all not getting them around? The
Yes.
only person who would get them around was Sarah Finnegan and maybe Aaron Meckaday some of the time. Other than
Because
them
she was the
two, it's
beamer.
like, yeah, you know. And Oklahoma sitting over here, doing the cookie cutter beam routine and scoring 9-9, and y'all
Yeah.
have the better difficulty, but
And
you're not
UCLA
getting your
was good.
leaps all the way around, like Richard Dean and Christina Desiderio, Reagan Campbell, like they were wishy washy with
Yes.
those leap series, and that's to me was always a coaching issue more than a athlete's ability.
Correct. But you guys, let me, because I know Ezra said he has to go by like 8 something, and we're already almost at 8 o'clock. So I want to get through this presentation as deep as we can. We can always do part 2 on Saturday if we don't finish it off.
Mhm.
But I want to just get as deep as we can. So Ezra, go
The
ahead. But I'm pretty
presentation
sure you
is just this
go ahead.
team's schedule, the team's roster, and just all of that. So it's nothing too deep. And also,
Okay.
the, so it's like,
Ezra, I have a question. Since we sitting here with your presentation with Oklahoma, who is the
yes.
black girl that was out last season? But I heard she's in a boot again this season.
I believe we're talking about Danae Fletcher.
Yes, is she
Yes.
hurt again?
She last season it was a shoulder thing, this and a leg thing, and this season I have not seen anything from her, but I
She's
know she's
just a
doing
that's a
ten.
that's a beautiful black girl to me.
Yes, great. But she was a freshman in 2022, so she's a senior this year. She was making
God.
lineups consistently in 2 and 3.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
yes.
Cat Lavassa did not take her fifth year, right? Because she was one of my favorites too on the team.
I believe she did not, and which is sad.
Yeah. Yeah, because I give credit where it's due. I understand they work hard. To me, uh, I don't see the big hype with Jordan Bowers, but
I don't.
I love Audrey Davis. She's actually one of my
Yes,
favorite NCAA gymnasts across the board. I wish she could have a little better form on vault, but her bars and beam is to die for.
and she gives you a cute little floor routine. She does her little e pass, her
Yeah,
Rudy front
yeah.
double fold, which is cute, and
She
she
can
gives me
actually
something.
She can
Yes,
dance. She got a little flavor to her. She can
yes,
dance.
she gives you a great dismount, in my opinion.
Hmm.
The double front half.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And we got to think, they have that team scored the highest ever. They surpassed
Yes,
UCLA and Stanford all these years to almost score 199. So
they were .050 away from scoring a 199.
yeah.
So,
So
Michaela, is there any team you want us to talk about, or like give you something in depth about?
Specific. Okay, let's talk about a team that normally doesn't get that much attention. Let's go in depth into Michigan State
yeah,
because I
Yes,
know Shayna tunes in.
yeah.
yes.
And last year they really like got a lot of attention from their young Walter who was doing I think a better pipe front half
Sage Kellerman. Yes.
It's not better than Haley Bryant's. I'm
Than Haley
sorry.
Bryant.
She
I
does the
think
vote
it is.
properly.
I don't think Haley
Haley's
Bryant
is
does the
more.
ball properly. I don't.
It should be called something different because it's really not a front pike half.
She
It's
should
like
have
a
called it
front
the Bryant.
pike.
It's not.
Yeah.
It should be called a layout front
It should
half,
be
and
called
I think
differently, but it's still the best of all in NCAA, hands down,
So
regardless of
Michigan
if it's
has,
called or not.
in my opinion, the second best vote lineup because they have a lot.
I'm so sorry. I completely disagree with that, Shayna. There's no way a pipe front half is ever going to be better than a Yurchenko double twist, no matter how crappy the Yurchenko double twist is. Them pipe front halves should not be worth a
I
10. I'm
just
so sorry.
An
But go
athlete
ahead.
has never scored consistently high on a Yuchenko double twist
Right.
post season. That's
Correct.
why,
It's so hard.
yes,
And when you say that,
It's
Michaela,
too
you
hard
think
to.
it's too hard to be clean and to stick on a weekly basis.
yes,
And be real, like a Kaya Johnson. Loved her down, but she had obvious form issues. But because she could land decently is what garnered her highest scores.
yes.
MJ
Correct.
Frazier, another one. Great form, but she cannot land properly. She will never
And
get a
that's
10
because
on it.
of her great form.
She will never get a 10 on it because she cannot land it properly. She cannot stick it.
Yes,
Ashley Nat Ashley Nat had the benefit of the doubt because she could stick it. But she had
yes,
form issues. She had form issues as well. So when I look at it, a front pike half that is done exceptionally well should score higher. Just because a double is harder, it has to be done properly.
yes. So Michigan State has the second best vote lineup coming into the season, in my opinion. I'm based on a
Yes,
YouTube that I watch. They have a
yes.
plethora of tenor votes, and
Hmm.
they just look really good this season.
And
And
I
they will give
love their floor.
UCLA a run
Their
for their money.
floor is great.
Yes, Skylar Schulte, always good. Nikki Smith, Gabby Steven. They
Hmm.
just look really good this season, and they're going to give UCLA a run for their money in the Big Ten for the championship title. Which, yeah,
So did UCLA go to the Big Ten?
yes, UCLA is in the Big Ten by
Yes,
itself.
Y'all, the Big Ten might be like the second best conference now.
It is.
it is.
It is.
It absolutely is.
Oh,
Because
also,
every other conference sucks.
also the
Because
ACC
they have
with
Stanford and
Stanford,
Cal
Cal,
now. Yeah.
Clemson, NC State, North Carolina, and Pittsburgh. I don't know what they are attempting to do with that conference. If they're trying to boost the other teams up, but it's not.
That's so hodgepodge.
Why didn't put
Like, why
why
didn't they
didn't
put
put
Utah
you
in that
that's
conference?
where Utah should have went. I feel like to make that more
But you
competitive.
know what? But you know what? We also got to understand these conferences aren't just gymnastics based.
Yeah.
Their
They're
location.
It's
probably
basically based off of football. That's the
Yes,
that's the
correct.
money
absolutely.
And I was
maker
about to
in
say,
college. It's
Yes.
football.
and these teams probably make a lot of sense for these football conferences that we don't understand, but they make no sense for
Gymnastics,
gymnastics, but they probably make
as well as
all the sense in the
basketball.
world for football
Yes.
and basketball. It probably
Yeah.
make all the sense in the
Because
world for
I
those
have been
two.
deeping into
But
basketball conferences, and Like every school has a basketball team. Like 0 schools have gymnastics teams, and for a team
Mhm.
like UCLA to have to travel all the way to New York, yes, Cal,
Mhm.
to travel all the way to New York for these conference meets, it does not make no sense, and it's gonna be bad outcomes.
Yes,
Bad
Misha,
outcomes.
Alex McMurtry. She's probably had the best double in NCAA gymnastics.
But her form wasn't all of that.
Alex Mc- Alex McMurtry's.
Yes.
I think she had a great double.
Yeah, it was sticked really hot easily, but her form, from what I remember and from the meets I just watched, wasn't as good. So yeah.
I think her form was a lot better than Bugs and Kaya Johnson's.
Well, that's not a high. Like that's not a high.
I'm trying to think of who else had a Utrinkel double in college.
Why haven't Jordan gotten a 10 on hers? Jordan constantly stick hers a lot. What is her technical issue that she's not getting a 10?
It's just conference. They're just not. The Pac-12 is just not used to good votes
Yeah, but
whatsoever.
they but they'll give a plethora of 10-0
To
non-worthy
Utah,
floor routines.
it's just
They were giving 10 out 10. I remember that. Y'all remember that meet with UCLA and the year UCLA won, UCLA in Oklahoma, and they were just giving out 10s.
because they were the top 2 teams that season, and I mean, yeah,
And then I don't think Jordan had no one to really set. Score building is a real thing in NCAA also.
yes,
And
absolutely.
Selena Harris?
UCLA sucks on vault. And if your best vaulter other than
She has Selena
your best
Harris?
vaulter other than Jordan at the time was a 995 Shea Campbell full. I mean,
No, she has Selena Harris.
But they never used to score Selena as high as Selena should have scored with that Uchenko 1.5.
right.
Because there were numerous amount of times where Selena should have gotten a 10 over
Yeah.
Utah and Walters, and they
And
didn't give
it's
it to
not
her.
like Jordan's. It's not like Jordan's. That's why I say the double is so much harder because Jordan didn't stick it a lot. Jade didn't even stick hers. How many tens does Jade have in NCAA on
She
vault?
has 0.
And that's enough. Well, y'all just woke it up.
Oh,
Y'all just woke it up. And I guess this is how we finna end this conversation. And we finna carry it over to part two.
yes.
Jay Carey has literally never stuck her Chinko double twist, but
Never.
constantly get tens on that vault. But Jordan Chow is like 50-50. She always almost sticks it or
Yes.
absolutely sticks it
Mm-hmm.
and constantly score 9.975.
Yeah.
But
Now they're in the exact same conference
yes.
where they were in the exact same conference at the time.
And
Why was Jay Carey scoring so much higher on that vault than Jordan Childs when Jay Carey A never used to stick it and B used to have a visible form error on her block?
Michaela, you already know that question. Can
Because
we
she,
can we revisit 2024 Olympic?
I mean, Jordan's technique on her double twist alone should be a 10. Because she has amazing technique on her double twist.
Because
I just don't. It's just
Oregon State sucks on vault just as bad as UCLA does.
Yeah.
So you are
All
right.
Pac-12
Like
schools
worse.
suck. Other than Utah.
and why and Jade was, at least I remember because you know how they do the past 10 on vaults of the week and all that. Jade would get tens on
Mhm.
non-stuck doubles as well as Haley.
Yes.
Or if they wasn't putting their feet together to salute, once they finished the landing position. And she would get tens. And then Jordan is 997 thon for better form. And you could say that about a lot of her bar routines too. That should have been
Yes.
10.
I mean, Jordan was the NCAA runner up on in all around. She won floor. She won bars at nationals with a 10
Hmm.
in 2023. And Jade hasn't really done that in
Yeah.
postseason other than Jade doesn't do good in postseason, but she does amazing and gets all these high scores and is number one.
Do you know why
Jay's
she doesn't do good in
because Jay's
postseason?
form is terrible, and it's more
Yes,
judges, and it's more judges.
No, because Jade in postseason of
she's
NCAA,
tired.
Jade now has switched her mindset off of NCAA. No, because Jade has now switched her mindset off of NCAA and started turning on Elite. And she
Oh
knows Oregon
yes,
State ain't for the win shit. So
yes,
she doesn't give a damn anymore. She's now focused on trying to get her big skills back,
Yeah.
trying to make a world order.
Well, that was just last
And that's
season.
the
That was
issue.
just her junior year, though, because her first 2 years, I don't think it was as bad. The problem with Jade is her form, and for two, she's always going to nationals as an individual, so she's always following a team's best gymnast.
yes. And three, she never has anyone to push her to like, oh my goodness, this person's form is better. Well, numerous people on. Well, I don't know Oregon State like that. To
Yeah.
just Jade is just boosted high.
If you look back in the history of Pac-12 gymnastics, other than Oregon State, Stanford, I mean UCLA, Stanford, I think Oregon State has the next most titles, which is I
Yes,
think
Oregon recently
maybe
won
two,
Pac-12 in 2013.
maybe two or three
Recently,
titles. So
yes.
they're like you know, a second tier, NCAA team,
And Utah,
Do you think Jay Carey purposely went to Oregon State so she could say she had the college gymnastics experience, yet focus completely on elite gymnastics?
I
absolutely.
think
Apparently, she always wanted to go to Oregon, but I
Oregon
never see
State,
that.
that was her hometown school, That's where
But
she's
I just
from.
think, but why Oregon State? Why not?
Because that's where she's from. She's from Oregon.
But like gymnastics,
Okay, Aaron.
That's like
gymnast.
Reagan Corville. Reagan Corville was from Baton Rouge. She grew up as a little girl watching LSU gymnastics, going to LSU meets. So
I don't give
sometimes
one
that's your
down.
dream.
Like you're there for
And LSU,
gymnastics.
you know,
But the other thing is, I don't see Jay Carey at any other school either.
Exactly. Yes.
But I can't imagine her at anybody else's school.
uh,
I don't see Jade at a school with as much competition as other gymnasts like Selena or like
yeah.
I don't see her at like schools like
I
that.
just think with Jade, I think Jade would have been fine anywhere, just based off a name. It might not necessarily have to do anything with her actual gymnastics, but many teams would have took a Yurchenko full of Jay's caliber in her floor routine.
I mean, her full would have made
I mean,
lineups.
her bars,
Her
her
bars is
bars, her
cleaned up.
college bars is
They cleaned up. Her beam is not that terrible, but I'm just saying she's just not that girl to have that
still
form.
slow.
She's not known to be no
Michaela,
form
did you see
girl.
Jay's new Florentine music for this year?
It's probably terrible.
It's horrendous.
It is.
It's horrendous.
It's probably terrible.
I don't know why. I don't know why Jade and her gymnastics team decided to go with this ballerina type floor music for her all the time. When
They
that's
gave her
not,
jazz music for this season. It's horrible. I was on it in the group. It's horrible.
it's so.
It's
So
her
far,
actress.
Ezra, whose floor music have you liked in preseason?
Me?
I really hope Jordan
Yeah,
Child
Ezra.
keeps her.
Whose floor have you liked?
Oh, Michaela was saying something.
No, I was just saying. I hope Jordan Childs keeps her Olympic music.
She's
for
not.
I don't think
college.
so.
I know
She's
they
not.
want.
I
She's
think
not.
that was it.
I know.
She performed it at Meet the Bruins
I
as
And
her
I
know.
wasn't
goodbye.
I wasn't too thrilled with a lot of the, like I said, to me, even Shea Campbell floor was like not great to me, like how it
But
has been
that's
in the past.
good for UCLA.
Look,
I love
LSU. I mean UCLA.
I
Yes.
Y'all
love
need some bad floor routines.
what's the
Y'all
little
need to
young
focus on winning.
what's the little
Yes.
young
Fuck
freshman, the little
girl.
bitty freshman
Y'all
from
need to get
Belgium?
y'all vaults in order, girl.
Yes.
What's
Yes.
the little
The only
Y'all need to
freshman?
get y'all.
the only good floor routine this season that I would like get up to watch if you say it's competing is Emma or Brooklyn Morris. And
And
yeah,
the little freshman from
Mika,
Belgium.
I
Yes,
don't
she
like the
had.
floor routine. I mean,
I
it's
liked it.
unusual.
I liked it.
But yeah, Emma
I
has the
did.
best floor for UCLA in my opinion.
Um, I looked at some of Florida stuff. Wasn't too. I'm not a
I'm
fan
never
of Anna
impressed
Pilgrim.
by Florida.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of Anna Pilgrim floor.
I don't like Selena's floor.
It's just like Selena was half-assing it to me. The
But that's
choreo.
probably what she wants now.
Sloane's is pretty good. I didn't really care for none of Ella's shoes except Aaliyah's.
I want to see Kalia, but she didn't compete floor.
I don't she was it was talk that she was supposed to redshirt, but I mean she popped out of vault and they really don't need her on floor, but I think she just they're trying to get her healthy. She got a Achilles thing and a shoulder thing. So we'll be lucky to see her, I feel like, this season as well.
Which
Lexi
is
Zeiss should not be in no lineup based off what I
that
saw.
vote. That vote makes me mad. Did you see her vote,
Her,
Michaela?
it's her all her
She should do it in tuck.
all of
Yes,
her.
yes, I saw her vault, and I made a comment saying that she should do it in
You
tuck. That
sure did,
comment went
and
viral
I
because everybody wanted
commented,
to argue with
and
me.
I replied and said the same thing. I was just not her form. Her twisting form is terrible.
And it's also because she has a knee problem and an ankle issue. So tuck it.
Tuck
They're
it.
Tuck
saying
it.
she's
If
throwing
you're
it out,
not, you don't have to make. You
and
don't have
you
to make
know,
vault lineups. They
just from
could just
what I
use
see,
you
just from what we see,
once or twice this season.
I see Lexi Zeiss. The only event I could see her possibly contributing on is bars, and that's if Alexis Jeffrey is not able to compete or
Oh,
whatever.
what's wrong with KJ Johnson? Cause
I have not. It's an internal issue with
oh
her,
god.
and who knows? You know, they're gonna keep it hush hush, and I'm not that involved to like get real tea.
I also saw Bryce with a collar, like a neck thing, which is not
I
cute.
don't. I wouldn't. I would be shocked if we ever saw Bryce Wilson compete for LSU again.
It says LSU
Oh
is looking
wow.
to LSU. They're looking to injury, like injury looking like I don't see it for them.
The things that the things really that have hampered them are the injuries. And
Yes.
I think a good thing was to go down to the two pass routines that he found. Everybody's trying to echo Maggie Nichols a la OU, and you got a lot of fifth
Which
year.
that
You got a lot of
you never should have
Okay,
gotten
okay.
that.
fifth year and sixth year.
And like we got to give a credit to credit. Maggie Nichols damn sure created this two pass for
She
routine
did.
bullshit crap. She
Without
damn
a
sure
e pass,
without an e pass, bitch.
a front full, not even a front full, like a front something to a layout step out. Like, mm-mm.
No, to some kind of to a Goshion.
Yeah,
She was doing something
Yeah,
like
she was. She was doing one of them jumps at the end of the
a
pass. Yeah,
she was doing like a 1.5 front step out through to a Goshion, and that was giving her all the bonus points in the world.
I mean, but
was it
it's
the most
Maggie.
aesthetically
Yeah,
pleasing? No, but I mean, hey, that's what's so great about KJ.
it worked.
She
I
know how
mean,
to
It worked.
code. She know how to
KJ
use it.
The damn sure was giving me credit.
You know what Oklahoma is to me in the elite world, what Romania used to be. They're not gonna just knock your socks off with just the beautiful skills, the hard skills, beautiful gymnastics, but
they're going to be ambitious.
they're going to clean, they're going to be clean, and you're going to have to beat them.
Yeah, I see that. I like that analogy. I would say Oklahoma is where the Americans are at today. Like
Dominance wise.
nobody likes their gymnastics, but they always win,
Yeah.
and that's the Americans. So nobody likes our gymnastics, but we always win.
But they get the job done. They get the scores.
But you got to think about it. If you take away a Simone Biles, would America have been as dominant as they have been?
Yeah,
Because you see what
Yeah,
happened in Tokyo.
maybe
You
not.
see what happened in Tokyo.
that was just pure garbage.
But see, we didn't. Yeah, they just had a bad
And
team. But look
that
look
Russian
at
team was just not one of
2022.
the best Russian teams either.
But look at 2022. We didn't have Simone in 2022, and they still kicked everybody ass in 2022. So
Yeah. Because you got to look at it like 2012 and 2016. Those were some great teams.
Those were teams that they were just dominant to anyone to
Yeah.
touch them.
Because you got to look at it as what the gymnasts are doing on the floor, how the judging is, the code of points. 2012 was, if you had an Amanar, you was in the conversation.
They had 5 Amadors. They were just
yeah, 2012, and it's going to be very hard with no tea, no shade, Simone, because so many people are be like, just make the team, because
Yeah.
if you're on the team with Simone gonna win you a gold medal. And
I think I don't, even if Simone doesn't compete or only does 2 events, whatever her plan is in the next 4 years, you got to look at it. They got a new crop of seniors. I know it's all
I'm
killer,
sorry.
but we
How the
got
hell does
all these
WC
other people. What you saying, Ezra?
how the hell does what?
how the hell does WCC see Simone going back to that gym with those 2 goddamn coaches? Cause
Well, when I was watching, when I was watching Gymnastics podcast, and they were like, these 2 guys basically created the artistry deduction. So basically, they brought them over there to teach them the artistry deduction rule.
But do they know how to teach a bar or a ball?
do they know how to throw a double layout? Do
they know how to spot?
Well, they used to teach. They used to teach the Dutch in Romania, so no.
Oh.
And people were
It's not.
saying, are they a couple?
Wow.
We won't get into that. That's
Yeah, I don't want to get into. I would do research on that and give y'all an answer on Saturday because now I am intrigued. But they look like a couple. But
No, that's messy.
yeah. But you guys, it is 8 o'clock, and Ezra, our teenage co-host, has to go. But Saturday, around 6 o'clock, if everybody's free, we can do part 2 where everybody. It's not facts. It's just our opinions on the teams and giving our opinions and being messy for like 2 or 3 hours. So, I hope you all enjoyed tonight's show. Ezra, you did a wonderful job, friend. Thank you so very much.
Ezra.
And your connection
great.
held up.
Yes.
Our computer held up.
Yes.
We did the damn thing, friend.
We did
the thing.
We did it today.
Okay. We did it tonight. Shayna,
We put a show
you
together.
were wonderful as always, friend.
Yes.
You were wonderful. I'm so happy that you joined the show.
And I enjoy debating with you, Sheena.
Yes, because I'm never going to be mad at anybody's personal things because we all have our opinions. We have our favorites. And hey, we need gym nerds like ourselves to talk about the great sport of gymnastics.
Absolutely. And I promise y'all by tomorrow, I'm going to put up this SEC Loves Gymnastics podcast poll because we did that. We absolutely did that. And it's going to be published.
It's crazy how
it's going to be published.
It's crazy how We put Georgia last.
And I won't be surprised if it appears on one of these other gym pods Twitter post tonight.
But with that being said, everybody, we'll see y'all Saturday. I promise y'all I won't flake out. I will give y'all a show Saturday. Unless Friday. No, I'm off Saturday. So yeah, I should be. Yeah. Yeah. Bye everybody. Thank you for tuning in.
Bye.
Let me give y'all an outro. Child. Hold on. Let me find it. Everybody. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to season 2 of the Loves Gymnastics podcast, brought to you by the Loves Gymnastics Network, brought to you by the creator of this, Michaela Loves Gymnastics, and her co-host, Oscar, aka Gymnastics Saves Lives, Miss Shayna, and Ezra. And together, we bring you the Loves Gymnastics podcast. Season 2 begins now. Thank you, everybody, for your patience. We love and appreciate you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, bring more people into the community. It's NCAA 2025 time. Let's go, girls! And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of